All right. Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to today's podcast. I'm Aldrima Harper, the host of the Organizedpreneur podcast and creator of the Declutter with Dream 5-day challenge, where I help female entrepreneurs to fulfill their dream of clarity, hope, peace, and sustainability in life and business. And today I'm super, super excited because I have one of my favorite peeps here from Louisiana that's going to be joining me today on today's show, where we're going to be talking a little bit about organization. We're going to be talking a little bit about business. We're just going to chop it up here and just have a really, really good time. So today, I'm interviewing an amazing emerging entrepreneur, and her name is Stacey Weaver. Let me just give you her whole name, okay? So Stacey Weaver is a New Orleans native, a wife and homeschooling mom. She has two sons, 14 and 20. I still can't believe that she has a 20-year-old, but okay. And she says after 13 years of experience as an executive assistant, she says she is now ready. Now she is now a new entrepreneur and has started her own virtual assistant company called SRW. I'm gonna get it right here in just a minute.
That's all right.
SRW Freelance Virtual Support business, where she provides high-level administrative services to executives and entrepreneurs. On her own time, she's either helping her parents make beaded bracelets, cool, and rearranging spaces, nice, and binge watching old TV shows. Now, I gotta know, what old TV shows are you talking about, Stacey?
Now, lately, I have been stuck on the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
What?
Yes, I love that show. I gotta watch it every night before I go to sleep.
Wow. I used to love that show. It was always so, I think it was just like inspiring, for me. Not to mention funny, right? It was,
right.
It's, and I don't know why I say it was. It still is, because there are reruns out there. But I mean, I used to love that show, and I love the music. And then when she twirls around and throws her head up, oh my gosh, I used to love that. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it.
The older lady looking at her when she threw that head up.
Yes.
I always laugh at that part.
Oh my goodness, that is so funny, so funny. So, Stacey, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited that you're on the show today, and I've really been looking forward to you coming and talking about your business and us just kind of chatting it up and all that stuff. I've really been looking forward to it. So, I'm glad. I'm even more excited that you launched your business, because I love entrepreneurship. I love business. And as you know, I love talking about business.
Oh, yes.
So tell us a little bit more about your business. And I want to hear more about, making beaded bracelets and things like that. So, tell the listeners more about that, your business and some of the stuff that you're working on and all that.
Yeah, so like you said, after 13 years, I was an executive assistant in corporate America. I kind of fell into that job because I actually went to school for a little bit to be a medical office specialist. And so I couldn't find anything in that field. So I got with a temp agency, and they actually signed me up for a job being a receptionist. And then I stayed there and elevated into administrative assistant and then executive assistant. So I kind of just fell into that part of it. And so I was doing that for 13 years. But then in 2020, I decided to leave the executive assistant job to homeschool my son and to be there more for my family. And so that's what I decided to do in 2020. And so during that time I was out, I got a lot of phone calls from colleagues and old employers looking for my services. And so one of my old employers said, you might want to think about, opening up or doing your own thing as a virtual assistant. And so I thought about it, prayed on it, and I decided to go ahead with it. And so, and this year, actually, the beginning of this year, I launched, my business, SRW Freelance Virtual Support, where I'm a virtual assistant to executives.
Yes. Oh, I so love that. And so when I
Yeah.
was saying SRV, that's your initials, right?
SRW, yeah.
I mean, why do I keep saying SRV?
I don't know.
I think I was thinking about, isn't there a group or something that's SRV or
SWV. Oh no,
See,
Aldrina.
okay, I'm just messing
SWV.
everything. Oh my goodness.
That's
Yeah, so
okay. That's okay. Yep.
that's what's staying in
SRW.
my head.
That's my initials.
SRW.
Yes,
SRW.
Stacey
I
Renee
love that.
Weaver.
Stacey Renee Weaver. So
Yes.
yes. I'm so excited about that because what it tells me is that, you know, when you look at the experiences that you brought to other businesses, right? Because
Yeah.
that's what you were doing. You were getting paid for your experience and your expertise, and you brought that to the marketplace in terms of working for, someone else. And so you
Yeah.
brought those experiences into the marketplace for yourself and launching your business. How does it feel?
It feels crazy, to be honest, because I never thought I would be an entrepreneur. I always said, and I don't know why I had this mindset, but I always said, like, that's not for me. I'm not that type of person. I'm not a business savvy person. So I always just thought that wouldn't be my path. And I don't know
Wow.
why. I just thought that. I thought I would be an employee. I was more
Yeah.
employee. I wasn't good at business, numbers, stuff like that. So I just always had that mindset for some odd reason. But I'm out of that
Wow.
mindset now.
Right. Yeah. Because you have to do it pretty quickly, right?
Yes, yes. But it
And I
feels
think,
crazy, but it also feels rewarding and liberating. I feel
yeah.
free,
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. What are, aside from the changes in your mindset, there are so many benefits and so many positives to being your own boss,
Yes.
right? What do you find that's most challenging though? What do you think is most challenging about it?
Ooh, for me, I think coming into this, I have to really, and I think we talked about it, my time management. That's the most challenging thing for me is my time management because I'm trying to do all these things, homeschool my son, work,
Right.
be there for my parents, stuff like that. And so I
Right.
just gotta juggle that better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the
You
most
know,
challenging thing for me.
yeah. And I think, particularly coming out of, because and I know I've mentioned that to you before, coming out of being an employee, it does
Mhm.
require that you manage your time even more because when you're an employee, they're pretty much managing your time for you.
Right.
You're there,
Yep.
9 to 5 or whatever, you're 8 hours or what have you, and you have
Mhm.
things that you're doing for them, and what your deadlines are and things like that. But
Yep.
then when you enter into that entrepreneurial space, it's like, oh, okay, nobody's really like riding me about anything.
Right.
Nobody's really asking me to do this and do that, and it has to
Yep.
be done by 5 o'clock or whatever. And
Yep.
that can be a plus or a minus, right? Because sometimes you think when you're an entrepreneur, it kind of you have that freedom, and then you don't realize, you're like, oh my goodness, I got to get this done. How am I going to get all this done you know when I still only have the same amount of time, right? We only have 24
Right.
hours.
Yep.
So,
And you
and
got to be
then
more disciplined too
yeah,
for
yeah,
yourself because you're
yeah,
like the gatekeeper. You got to take initiative. You got to do the things that nobody is making you do. You got to, you
right.
know, be your own boss.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's
Yep.
right. So it's rewarding, and then it can be a challenge,
Yep.
all the same. And different people have, different things that they have to adjust to when they, become an entrepreneur. I think for me, when I first, now, and I'll say, like, for me, I always had this vision of being my own boss, but I didn't know what it looked like. So
Yeah.
when I was a little girl, I used to always carry a briefcase
Uh-huh.
because because to me that is what a business person did, right?
Right.
So sometimes I had stuff in it, sometimes I didn't, but all the way through, as far as I could remember, I always had a briefcase, right? And I still
Yeah.
love briefcases, even to this day. They just look different, right?
Yeah.
But
Professional.
I used to love briefcases and pens and and then I would just pretend I was my own boss and everything. But
Yeah.
I didn't know what it looked like because I really didn't have an example of what that looked
Hmm.
like. But I do remember my first entrepreneurial experience, and that was in Raceland. One of the things that I did was I used to sell popcorn balls, right?
Okay.
Do you remember? Did you do that? Did you guys,
No.
have popcorn balls or
I
anything
think
like
we might
that?
have had it in like
Unknowingly,
elementary school for different
yeah,
occasions, but yeah.
yeah. So, and what I would do, I would put a sign in the window, and like before school, I put a sign in the window, and
Hmm.
I would say open, snacks available, before school or something like that.
What?
And then
How
so
old
I
were
did.
you?
I was in junior high. I was in
Okay,
junior
okay.
high. Yeah, yeah. And so my mother showed me how to make popcorn balls.
Hmm.
And so I popcorn balls, and then we would buy little snacks and stuff like that from the store, and then I would just resell them, stuff like that. And so um it was really my first experience of being my own boss. So I did that in the
Yeah.
morning, and then after school, I would reopen, put the sign back in the window, and the kids would stop by, get popcorn balls. I also did like little they were called icebergs or something like that, where you have
Yep.
Kool-Aid in a
Frozen
cup.
cups. Yep.
And so I sold those. So and I liked having my own money and things like that. So
Yep.
that was my first experience, as far as an entrepreneur and having my own business. And I was like, I think that was when I first got the bug, you know,
Yeah. That's
and
awesome,
uh, and that was
Eldrima.
my first experience with actually the exchange, of money and
Yeah.
products and things like that. And I still carry my little briefcase and everything, So, but that was my first experience, and
That
so
is awesome.
yeah, yeah,
I never
and
had
so
any of those type of dreams. All of
and
that
even
scared me, Eldrima. All of that scared me. Dealing with
wow,
money, all of that. And I don't know.
yeah.
I wasn't good at math. That was one thing.
Hmm.
So I just tried to stay away from that arena.
Yeah, yeah. And even I mean I'm glad you said that. Now, one of the I think I did excel at math,
Mm-hmm.
but the funny thing is like my first job right after high school was in a
Mm-hmm.
grocery store,
Okay.
and they fired me after 2 weeks because my drawer always came up either over or under. So I was not
What?
good at counting money. And so 2 weeks they were like, we're gonna have to let you go. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, but yeah, it's just interesting how all those experiences, just kind of play into, what the things that you experience, and
Yeah.
the things that kind of contribute to where you are today, right?
Yep.
So, and even when I was working for corporate America, I always would sit, because I was an executive assistant always, also, and I would
Mm-hmm.
always sit in at my desk and think about what my business would look like. I still didn't
Yeah.
have the experience, still didn't
Yeah.
have, somebody that I could look at that, could teach me what that's like or anything,
Yeah.
but I still had dreams of it. So it was
Yeah.
always there. So anyway, so I digress. But so tell me, who are some of the type of clients that you serve in your business?
Yeah, so I have two clients as of right now, and I have so I have two clients, an entrepreneur and an executive, a CEO of a organization. And so yeah, those are my two clients, a truck driver and a CEO. So they're kind of on different sides of the spectrum, but
Yeah.
that's kind of
That
me
that's
too,
really good. But that's really good though, because it's giving you two different types of experiences.
It definitely is. It definitely is. One needs
Definitely.
more help in the bookkeeping, organization area, and then one needs more help with like calendar, travel, board meeting type stuff. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Wow. And you launched your business, you got clients pretty quick after you launched your business.
I did.
So what did that feel like when you got your first client? You were like, what? Like, wow.
So my first client is the one that suggested. Well, no, actually, two people suggested I be a virtual assistant. But my first
Mhm.
my first client was one of the people, and so he was pretty much like, once you started, we gonna go. So get your stuff together because I'm looking to you. So I already had a client before I had a business.
Got
So
it.
that's the amazing part for my journey. And
Yeah.
then so I really got excited when those contracts got signed. That's when I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah. This is real.
So yeah, I felt amazing. And ironically, they both got signed on the same day. Both of my clients signed their contracts on the same day. So I was having a
Wow.
good day that day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing your post on Facebook or something, and about contracts or something like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that is just really, really cool. So what happened after they signed the contracts? What happened then? It was like, let's do it.
Yeah. I went off to the
Yeah.
races, especially with this
Yeah.
first client. I'm still running. But yeah, I went to work immediately for both of them, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good. That is really good. And you
Yeah.
know why this is so encouraging? Because really, for those who are listening or watching, this show, I hope that this is an encouragement, to them, to any of you who's looking to launch a business. Just know that you don't have to have it all together. Because even when I launched my business, I didn't have it all together. And I
Right.
still can't say that I have it all together. I've learned some things along the way, but
Yeah.
hopefully this encourages people, to let them know that you don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have all of your ducks in a row, and it
Right.
won't be perfect. You're going to be scared. Were you scared?
Yep. I'm still scared. No, but yeah, I was really nervous because, like I told you, I didn't even have that wasn't a thought of mine. So that's not like
Yeah.
I was. I've been dreaming of this since I was 12. No,
Yeah.
I didn't think that this was a possibility for me. So I was really nervous. But
Wow.
I had to
Wow.
believe in myself and know, why not you, Stacey? Why not you? You deserve
That's
to have your own business. Why not?
yeah.
You don't have to
Oh,
be
I
working
love
for
that.
people for the rest of your life. And I was teaching my sons, whatever y'all do, try not to work for anybody. So I had to
Mhm.
practice what I was preaching to them too. So
Wow, that is so important too. When you're an entrepreneur and you have two sons, and teaching them how to work for themselves, and be business owners and things like that.
yeah,
What a great legacy, that is,
yeah,
to leave to your sons. How do they feel
yeah.
about you working, as your own boss and everything? Do they have any comments
Yeah,
or anything, or what are they saying?
I I think they're pretty proud of me. You know,
Yeah.
they haven't said it, but I can tell that
Yeah.
they're kind of proud that I've taken a chance on myself and I'm doing it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, yeah. What about support from your family and everything? How's that? How is that coming? Because sometimes people will say, well, I don't have support, from my family, or
Yeah.
things like that. So how's that going for you?
Yeah. My family's pretty supportive of me, especially
Yeah,
my mom. You know, she's
yeah,
really proud of me.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That is
Yeah.
that is really
My
good.
family's pretty supportive of what I'm doing.
Yeah. And being that you are just launching, your business and everything, what would you say to someone, that's considering launching their business? What would you say to them?
I would say do it. But first, consult with your creator. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
you're on path to what it is you're supposed to be doing. Make sure you're in alignment with what it
Yeah.
is, you're supposed to be doing. But then
Yeah.
do it, because we pray for stuff, we ask for stuff, and then we don't put our feet to work.
Yeah.
And so I think
Yeah.
you want to do it, pray about it, and then do it.
Mm-hmm.
However you need to get
Yeah.
it done, get to work, research, ask people questions, look up stuff, whatever you
Mm-hmm.
got to do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
but believe in yourself and then do the work.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really hard out there sometimes too when you think about, the belief system that you have to have. And we were just kind of
Yes.
talking about that a little bit. That's it's hard because you feel like there's so many forces against you,
Yep.
and then there's what you see this all the time, imposter syndrome,
Yep.
what they call it, other people out there, and you're like, oh man, I would like to, for my business to do, whatever it is. And so
Yeah.
you got to stay away from all of those things that's going to impact you negatively, you know
Yes.
and so yeah, so I love this. I love what you're saying. So what are some of the things that you actually do for your clients?
Sure. So, like I said, I work with a truck driver and an executive. So
Mm-hmm.
with both of them, I kind of schedule their meetings. I'm
Mm-hmm.
scheduling meetings, I'm booking travel, organizing emails, managing board meetings. I'm acting as a liaison between them and constituents or staff members. So yeah. And
Got
then
it.
also with the truck driver, I'm also helping him find a bookkeeper, and I'm kind of helping him be in line with stuff like that.
Yeah. Wow. That is very cool because you never know some of the needs that they may have, that your clients
Yeah,
may have until sometimes they don't even know what they need.
right. Yep, that's
You-
true.
wow.
Yep,
Yeah. So Stacy, so you recently, well, not just recently, but you've gone through my 5-day challenge.
yep.
And so you've gone through several of them, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so what was your experience in going through the 5-day challenge? Well, let me ask it this way. What was it that, what was the reason that you felt like you needed to go through the 5-day decluttering challenge? Because I know that you're pretty organized.
Yeah,
So
I
what
kind
was the,
of.
yeah.
So, like you say, organizing is my jam.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I like to rearrange my spaces a lot. I'm always rearranging my room, bedroom, kitchen, front room, everywhere, right? So that's kind of something I enjoy doing. So I was just looking on Eventbrite because I'm also in this phase of learning. I just want to learn stuff and learn
Mm-hmm.
from people. So I was looking on Eventbrite for some stuff to just learn and get into. And I saw your declutter page. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, let's see what this talk about, because it's kind of up my alley. And then you were a Black woman, which is also
Mm-hmm.
up my alley. And so I said, let me check her out. And so I signed
Mm-hmm.
up for your challenge. And I must say, you know how you sign up for stuff and you don't really know what you're getting into? You're like, oh, I done messed up. Let me get out of this. So I thoroughly enjoy your challenges. I enjoy being a part of the Facebook group. I enjoy talking to you and just knowing you, because
Yeah. Thank you.
each challenge I walk away, I feel lighter. I feel like I'm more organized and I'm able to take on my next task because I'm clear in thought. I have clarity now. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's weird that how much, if you clean up around you, declutter your space, your space looks bigger and you just
Yeah.
have more room for thought, oddly
Yeah.
enough. So and it
Yeah.
helped me with launching my business because I feel I'm able to think better, clearer, and make better decisions. And it's weird
Yeah.
just from decluttering, but that's actually what it does for me.
Yeah. And I so appreciate that because I don't think people realize, that just the simple act of decluttering brings about so much clarity,
It
so much
does.
openness, like you said, and it allows you the capacity to do things where before it's like, you were probably, wondering why, there might have been like the chaos sometimes. And I'm not saying you
Yes.
because I know you are organized, but the
I know what
decluttering
you're saying.
process all by itself, it just really opens up the pipeline,
It
like,
does.
where you can think so much better. Like those
Hmm.
thoughts may not have come to you had you not been, going through the challenge and decluttering. And that's why there's so much emphasis on decluttering, and so
Hmm.
because of those benefits. And I think, some people that I've talked to, it's like they just want to get to the organizing part. I just want to get
Yeah.
organized,
Yeah.
but miss
It's the
how
process.
important. Yeah, yeah. They miss how important it is to declutter so that you are organizing the stuff that's left, you
Right.
know?
And a lot of the stuff we have is stuff we don't need. Get
Oh
rid
my
of
gosh.
it.
Oh my gosh.
Get
Oh
rid
my
of it. We
gosh.
have to get rid of it. And that's like I told you before, your class has taught me that before I was just straightening up. I wasn't getting rid of nothing. I was just maneuvering it, making it look pretty, dusting it
Mhm.
off, but I
Yeah.
wasn't getting rid of anything.
And
And so yeah, I learned that through your challenges.
yeah, and it's so funny because I always share, as I share the fact that I'm a recovering organized
Right.
pack rat. Yeah,
Yeah.
and because that's exactly what I did. Everything was organized, but I was just organizing all the stuff that I had, not getting rid of anything, not decluttering anything. And
Yeah.
so it's just I did not realize the importance of that. And once I did, it was like, what a difference it made for me.
Mhm.
And so that's why I wanted to start, with those challenges, with the monthly challenges. And because I know I'm not the only one, you
Yeah.
know, that's
Right.
going through that. So yeah, so I definitely, appreciate that. So, and I know you probably have already, mentioned it already, but what was your biggest takeaway from the challenge?
My biggest takeaway. Let's see here. Um, my
Well, I
biggest.
remember you saying, I'll say this. I remember one time you said, and this was one of the challenges, you said that um, your aha moment was
Mhm.
organizing, was organizing for the stuff versus the space
The
and not
space.
organizing. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I've even gotten it wrong now, but but that was one. I remember you saying that
Organized
that
for
that
the
was a
space
big
and not the
aha,
stuff. Yeah, that's
and not
one of
the
the
stuff.
things. Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's one of
yeah.
the things on my list that was one of my biggest takeaway. But the biggest one for me that I thought of this during the last challenge is it's like self-care. I have to look at it
Mm,
like it's self-care. So when you declutter your space around you, it's kind of like doing a facial or painting your fingernails or getting a massage. It's like you got to look at it like that because actually at the end of it, you're gonna feel better.
yeah,
You're gonna feel
yeah,
better. It's a little
yeah,
aggravating to do because you don't let everything pile up and stuff everywhere. But once you fix it, declutter, get rid of it, get your space nice, you're gonna feel like 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 you just
yeah,
did something to yourself, to take care of
yeah.
yourself. And it kind of is, you're taking care of yourself because I also learned that what's going on around you, well, what's going on in you is a replica
Representation.
of what's going on around you.
Yes.
So if you're
Yes.
feeling
Yes.
bad internally, it's gonna play out in your outer world.
That's
So
right. That's
yeah.
exactly
So like
right. And
those are three things I took away
yeah.
from
Yeah. And
your
I
challenge.
so yeah. And I so appreciate that. I think the when you mentioned that you had started your business in the group, that
Mm-hmm.
was the thing for me. I was like, you know, that's it. Because
Mm-hmm.
for me, I love working with entrepreneurs. I love working with female entrepreneurs. And I guess the thing that I did not realize was that in addition to what you're saying, about self-care, was that
Mm-hmm.
it gives you the clarity so that you can launch your business. And that's a huge benefit. You can either launch your
Yes.
business or relaunch your business, whatever it
Right.
is, because you get that much clarity. And that's a huge
Mm-hmm.
benefit. And the fact that, you know, people sometimes may not put, a cost associated with clutter, but when you don't have the clarity to relaunch or launch a business, or when you don't have the clarity to focus on the ideas that you may have to put in
Mm-hmm.
place for a business, that is literally costing you
Yeah.
millions of dollars. And I'm not saying right away, but in the
Right.
long run,
Over time.
right? Because at the end of the day, had you not gotten that clarity, had you
Mm-hmm.
not gotten the mind capacity or the brain capacity, to think through some things that you wanted to do in your business or reach out to
Mm-hmm.
people or whatever that is,
Right.
in the long run, it costs you millions of dollars. Because over years and years, it may take that amount of time for you to make that money,
Right.
but hopefully not.
Yeah.
It depends on your ability to put things in place. And once you get
Right.
clarity about things, you gotta do it.
Hit
Like
the
you
ground
said, you
running.
gotta do it, you
Yep.
know. So yeah, so that was the thing for me that I was like, oh my goodness, this is what I'm talking about right here.
Yeah.
So
And it was all like perfect timing because I didn't plan to meet you. I didn't plan to
right.
do this VA business. It was just but everything. Once I started doing one thing, something else made sense and something else presented itself. It's kind of crazy, but that's actually what happened for me.
That is,
But
yeah.
I had to get clear on my what's going on around here and internally too. Like, why not
Yeah.
me, Stacey? Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I so love your testimony. I mean, it's just so powerful. So what I'll be doing is I'll definitely be putting your contact information.
Okay.
Um, it'll either be below the video, next to the video, or what have you, but it'll be included in the podcast. But what is the best way you want people to reach you?
They could email me, or if they're
Okay.
on
All
social
right.
media, they can send me
Okay.
a DM.
Okay. And we'll
Yep.
definitely have
But
those
emailing me
links.
is better.
Is it okay? Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because some different people have different ways they want to be contacted.
Right.
So yeah, so definitely, I'm just over the moon excited about the progress that you're making and the things that you're accomplishing, and I'm
Thank
I'm
you.
glad to be a part of this journey with you.
You definitely are a staple in it. I'm not gonna lie. You definitely are.
So I definitely appreciate all that you have said, and so to the listeners, make sure that you reach out to Stacey, SRW. There we go. Yeah.
SRWFVS@gmail.com is my email. SRWF for Frank, V for Victory, S for Stacy, S.com. Oh, at gmail.com. I'm sorry.
That's right. I probably messed you up.
No, you didn't.
Well, Stacey, thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate this
Thank you for
time,
having
and
me, Miss
hopefully,
Dream.
yeah, I hopefully we'll be able to come back and look at the progress that you've made and the millions
Yep,
that you've made in your business
yep.
and
Let's
all
talk
that
about
stuff.
it.
Because
Yep.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm just super
Put it out there.
excited. Thank you for. I know you have a lot of stuff on your plate, but I do appreciate you joining me, on the podcast today. And to the listeners, make sure you reach out to Stacey about VA support, and I know that we didn't get a chance to talk about your making beaded bracelets.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
something you do
beaded
with your mom,
bracelet.
right?
No, I actually do that with my husband. Well, he kind of like left me a little bit with that.
Okay.
So
Okay, he left it all to you,
mostly
huh?
me doing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So is that
that
like your
business is
hobby?
called. Yeah, I was doing it to help him at first, and then it's kind of like we just do it for fun or when somebody asks for
Yeah.
something. But
Yeah.
yeah, we do beaded bracelets,
Okay.
and the
Okay.
that company's called Royal Rocks.
Oh, Royal Rocks. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. So we're gonna have all of that information in terms of how people can contact you. For the bracelets, for your virtual executive support services. Make sure you reach out to her, and also make sure that if you're interested in joining the decluttering challenge, make sure you go to declutterwithdream.com. If you want to reach the kind of clarity that Stacey is talking about, so that you can either relaunch your business or just launch your business, or if it's a part of your self-care, like she was saying, then
Yep.
you want to definitely go to declutterwithdream.com. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm super excited that we've had this time, to talk about, organizing, decluttering, virtual assistant services, all of that. Hopefully you'll join in the next time. See you later, everybody.
See y'all.